Hello everybody, welcome to the ITL. Oh, this week's been a busy week for the news, hasn't it been? Let me take a quick look at something real quick just to, yeah, that looks all right for me. That looks all right for me. Oh, I just wanted to make sure that the things are, not too far off out of whack for the video. Things are gone crazy this week. Crazy. Actually, the week in what, half week, 2 weeks in the news. Let's start by Google shooting just yesterday for me. This was just yesterday for me. This is being recorded on Tuesday because I have things coming up this weekend. This Friday, which means that I'm going to be rushed to get the ITL going, which I want to be able to it'll be just fine for me because of I'm doing it early, a little early. And next week's ITL is already shot and actually posted, waiting to be released. But I wanted to get this done before that. That way I'm a couple of weeks ahead, actually. It'll be like a week ahead. But I mean, it'll be cool. It'll be cool because I got things that need to be taken care of. Things that need to be taken care of. Past riding video this week, which I'm going to save the other parts for the next few weeks, hopefully if they come out all right. That way you guys have something to watch. Question came up because I left it off about the battery on the Goat. As far as BC, what's the numbers? I can never remember numbers. I'm sorry, BC. I love your channel. I love your videos. Numbers just don't work out for me. I don't remember numbers well at all. I can barely remember my own Social Security number. Date of birth, I got that down right, Pat, at 47, 48 years old, you know. But I mean, the numbers just don't do too well with me. But BC brought it up. Yes, he brought up a friend told him that if you have a failing battery, it's best not to push it along because it's going to take out your alternator and stuff. Yeah, I do agree with that. And actually, whenever I was in automotive school, which is diesel mechanics, I actually there was two areas that I actually got. I was actually overqualified whenever I got out of school. It was hard to find a job, but anyway, there was two areas of expertise I was into: fuel injection, because diesel's fuel injection, and also the electrical part, the electrical part of the vehicles. Back in the 80s, that was, simplified because they didn't have the computers like they have now, running every little frickin' thing. But I mean, that's one of the things. Yes, if you have a failing, if you have a failing battery, you should get that battery out of there as soon as possible because it will affect your alternating charging system. But on the Goat, first place, the alternator, it's a stator. Okay, it still could hurt the stator, yes. So I still agree with that, and that's why last year, actually, whenever the Goat started giving me problems, this has only been started like I'd say about 2 years. It's been going on. When I first started, I took the battery out, ran down to the auto parts store, had them test it. Not all auto parts stores know how to test bike batteries, and I'll put that out to you guys. Not all of them. And you'll get the, oh yeah, they do. No, they don't. It's different with the larger batteries. They can handle up a lot differently than a bike battery. A lot of places will tell you too, bike batteries are meant to last long. BS. They can last as long as you take care of them. They last a decent amount of time. But I took it to my auto parts store, and actually one of them was AutoZone, which they said, oh, it's older, but it's working good. I took it to another one, which was actually Tom's at the time, down in West Middlesex. Tom's or Tony's, I can't remember. I think it's Tom's. Now it's actually Jim Houston will actually, he's from the area. He'll know what I'm talking about. It's Napa now, and they said, oh, and they actually have the right testers and everything for the batteries and stuff. They tested out and said, you know what, this is a really good battery. So we can sell you a battery but I wouldn't buy it. This is a good battery. I wouldn't worry about it. To check the bike out and blah, blah, blah. Well, since then I've gone through this whole bike harness system and everything, more than once looking for shorts. Anything that would draw, anything. And I came up zilch. Zilch. And if you don't know what zilch is, that means nothing. And actually, I've actually repaired some of the problems in the past. That's why that's one of the things I was looking for whenever I went through for the rear tail light, the brake light and stuff, to get that all straightened out. And the bike's, it couldn't be any better in my eyes. I mean, I've tested, disconnected things, looking for if they have draws or anything. The only thing I can think of, the common denominator was, well, first place, the battery is getting older. The bike's getting older. It's getting grumpy in the wintertime. If I changed to a new battery, that grumpiness would go away a little bit. I'm being loose about it being called grumpy. It would go away a little bit, but I mean, could I change it out? Yeah, but I'm trying to see how far along this battery will actually do, because I've never seen a motorcycle battery. I mean, I haven't seen a car battery last this long. Be honest with you. I mean, I normally get 5-6 years out of a car battery. This thing was put in, I think it was 2010 yeah, I think it was 2010, or maybe I did it in 2009. It might have been 2010. This was put in. That's 8 years. At 2010? Well, 8 years is coming probably winter time. But NT8 would actually know that better than that. I mean, he put it in. He's been a real good champ about, you know, making sure I get the information that I need about this and keep up on it, because I'll forget. And it seems like he doesn't mind me asking him again and again and again. And it's actually, I write it down. It's in the book, but I don't always have the book on me. Actually, the book's actually in my cupboard right now. Actually, people know my garage. This is where the cupboard is beside my toolbox. And it's like you forget times and stuff. But I mean, it's written down. I got it all covered and everything. But it's just like, why fix something that's not broken? And I'm thinking it might be, I mean, the common denominator for the last 2 years, I started using that actually, I got it sitting over here on the side, that battery tender, which is actually a Sears battery tender. I bought it in 2000, 2001 era, and it's old. It's old, and maybe it started dying on me last year, being defective last year. I don't know. I had a bright idea. Well, the battery's getting older this last 2 years. I'll go ahead and just put a battery tender just to be easy on it. That way, it'll last longer for me. But I think the battery tender was just being faulty. I'm going to pick up a well-known brand battery tender. They're like 15, 20 bucks. You can actually get battery tenders for like 8 bucks from like Harbor Freight. Not saying that they're bad. Not saying that they're bad, but I'm going to get a well-known brand and put on it. Does it really need it? More likely, no. But another thing to bring up on it. In the wintertime for the last 2 years, 3 years, I've been really slowing down on my long distance, on my riding in the wintertime. First place, riding in the wintertime is not good for long distance in my eyes, for around here. But I've been really slowed down on my riding because of you know, physical problems came up in life. Well, the goat has only been getting in-town riding. It doesn't really get the charge it needs while it's moving, because it's idling at this freaking, it's stop and go. You're barely off into the idle. That's why every now and then I'll open it up, I'll drop the gear and just lug it, going areas just to get the idle up and to get it moving. And it's not enough. It's not enough to get the battery charged. So that's why in the wintertime it's more of a concern for me to keep that battery charged up, because I want it in good health. But I hope that explains a little bit of my thinking on it. And yeah, like I said, I know I'm searching for words right now, and I mean they're simple words, but it just escapes my mind right now. But yeah, I was qualified for electronics, and the bike's not much different than a truck, car, in basic wiring. I understand everything. I understand how things work on it. And actually, I can almost work on TVs, radios, and stuff like that. I've actually fixed TVs and radios and microwaves. But I mean, in the next week you'll be seeing me fix a furnace. But I mean, it's not that hard, and I understand it, and I do appreciate all the information and all the ideas. I really do. But there's people that's like, well, they just time. They really don't know the circumstance behind it, and then when they read a comment, they just run with it. Which, I mean, don't tell. I'm not saying to stop the comments. Don't do that. I like the comments. Don't get me wrong. But this is kind of help them to understand my thinking, my work behind it. I do have work that I don't talk about all the time. I normally do tell you guys what's going on in my life for the most part. There's private life stuff that I keep back, but for the most part, I mean, the private life stuff is just to keep other people's interests out of my channel, because I don't think that their interests need to be in my channel. You know, their personal life should be out of the channel. That's their life. That's not mine. I hope you guys all understand that. But yeah, Google got smacked in the face yesterday, as I was saying. Oh, there was a shooting, and if you haven't, anybody haven't noticed, haven't seen it, and this will be a few days later, you guys will be seeing this. But what they got, Google got shot up, and it was at a YouTube facility building. And this happens to be a disgruntled, in my eyes, I'll call it disgruntled, hasn't been released that way, but it was a YouTuber, a female YouTuber came in with a handgun, and some of the articles I've read said there was 3 people shot, 4 people injured. How could there be 3 people shot and 4 people injured from it? I don't know. Maybe somebody got burned by a flying freaking round. I don't know. But that's what they read. But at first they were saying maybe the lady was having a love affair with a guy in there, because it was shot by a female. And I mean, from what I'm finding out, it's not the facts. It was just somebody got upset because their monetization got shut down the tubes. Actually, not really monetization. They were actually being. They claimed they were being. The views were cut because of the filters and stuff they were doing with it on their videos, because certain videos were just, the views were just dropping down the tubes. And then with the new videos, they weren't getting viewed hardly at all. We've been complaining about that for a long time. Yeah, my monetization was shot. I don't have enough subs, which as of this video, I am back up to 666 subs. Thank you for the people that resubbed me. I was down to 663. But I'll tell you, 666 subs is not a good number. But I'm happy with it. We'll just like with that. But yeah, YouTube got hit. It's a tragedy that somebody got shot, but there was no AR-15s involved in it. So, yeah. But they're going, they're going to try to swing it somehow hard about the guns. They always do. But at least it's not a white male or a white child. Yeah. Okay, let's go a little bit further back in the news to last week. It was put up from Understand, and I don't know how long ago this was, but you know how we had the marches that the kids were just walked out of class. It was reported that that was actually being pushed by the school itself. The teachers were actually pushing behind it, and it was reported by some the whole school was behind it actually. But I don't know how that is. I mean, that's what was reported to me. I don't know any difference. In California, I believe, there was a parent that wasn't happy about it, actually walked into the school. And if I could find things that bases leads, the videos and the connections, I'll post them down into the comments. If I can't, I'm sorry. A lot of these things disappear as quick as I see them almost. But I'll just let them know this is what I read. I'm sorry if I can't prove it, okay? It's just like the one article which I'll show you, which, I mean, it can come and go. But I got one more other article after this. But anyway, this parent went in there and he questioned the principal, and he had his cell phone on recording. And he was wanting to know who was in charge, because his child was told the day before, whenever they had to march, that the kids could leave. And this is a 6th grader that's 12 years old. And he questioned the principal, and the principal said, No, we did. We couldn't have said that. If they want to leave, they can just leave and blah blah blah. And but she didn't authorize it. And he's like, I want to know who authorizes. I've got a lawyer. I'm going to sue the school district. But she wouldn't give him the definite answer. It was actually a decent video in my eyes. It was actually a real life video. I like those. You can tell it wasn't staged. But yeah, my question whenever this all first happened was, where was the parents? And yeah, I do agree. As a parent, whenever you put the kids in school, you expect them to stay in school. Whenever you make sure they get into that school building, you expect them to stay in school. You expect them to be able to stop them and tell them, hey, you're not leaving. Not until your parent comes pick you up, or somebody with a note from your parent with a signature. They should have signatures on file. My signature was always on file. They knew exactly how to read my signature. I showed them how to read my signature. And I would change my signature off and on just a little bit. And I told them, said, if you don't get this, look for this or this. That way my kid didn't know exactly how to sign it at that time. That way it was hard for them to forge it. But, I mean, it's like I expect my kid to stay there whenever I freaking drop him off. And I would sit there and wait and watch my child get into the school building. Then I wait a few minutes watching to make sure they don't just walk out, turn around and walk out. Because, I mean, kids will be kids, especially when they get into high school or junior high. But yeah, I'd be outraged too. He handled himself very well. He was upset. I can understand why. He was being a responsible parent. Okay, let's hurry up and move on, because we are actually another long ITL. I'm sorry, guys. Don't want to drop my phone. I'm sitting up here. Here's a real quick one I got from Suburban Rider. I've seen this, and you're not going to be able to read it, I know. Article was floating around. Maybe Thomas 8 put it up last week on Facebook. I don't think it's too late really to bring this up in my channel. Okay, the article says, here's who actually attended the March of Our Lives. It's in quotation brackets. No, it wasn't mostly young people. It's actually a good article to read. And it's actually very interesting. It was actually by Donna R. Fisher, which actually was taking polls during that march for a book she was writing. And she's not I call a right-wing person. She's actually she's a professor of psychology, which my wife went to Indiana. University of Maryland. She is writing American Resistance. That's the name of the book she's writing. And actually, I mean, there's a lot of good information here, and I will actually try to skip through a lot of it. But it was only less than 10% of it was children, and actually just a little bit higher percentage of it was actually about gun rights. I mean, there was just a very low percent of gun rights. But yet, everybody, all the media, and that really tells you how much media blows it up to make everybody think, okay, it was all about gun rights. No, it wasn't. And I mean, actually, it says in a little bit of it in this, and I'm sorry, Suburban Rider, I should have gone into this more deeper, but I am on short of time on it, and there was other things I wanted to put in also. And it kind of relates to this a little bit, but there was also stated in here. I looked on the site actually for the March of Our Lives, and yeah, it was kind of right. They only advertised for the venues of the people that was putting on music. They were getting a free music concerts. Yeah, people are going to show up for that. They don't necessarily agree with what's being said and everything, but they're going to go show up for the concerts. Free concert? Yeah, heck yeah. All right. You know what I mean? My thought, but I mean, if I could find a copy of this, I will go ahead and post up. I'll be honest with you. It's a Washington Post. It's the monkey cage analysis. And the Washington Post, a lot of times, I mean, they want you to pay to get onto it. But yeah, I guess there was 1,745 protesters. There was a team of 256 who randomly was selected out of them, and they were to go through and just randomly do it. And they said that 85% were women, blah, blah, blah. I'm not really going to get into it. It's actually a good read. But yeah, like I said, if I can find the post for it, I'll link all the posts, all the links down in the description for you. That way you can read it. Because I'm going on over 20 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. This is a long one. I'm trying to shorten them down. There's just so much happened in this last 2 weeks. I wanted to get into this because they're all kind of related with this left-wing media crap. I do watch Alex Jones, but saying that, I don't trust his words any more than I trust the left-wing media. I take his words and other ones that follows the same line, and I take the left-wing media's and I try to find the center. That's where the truth is, if the truth is there at all. Hope you understand what I'm saying, because I mean, it's not the tinfoil hat time here. Other places there is, but I try to find the truth in the middle. And the thing is are you guys, everybody really are believing exactly what the media is putting on? I mean, the alphabet media is putting on over everything else. Well, use your own brain, think outside the box. Don't use other people's brain, because they're just going to drive you the wrong way normally. Especially if you're going with a right-wingness or a left-wingness. You're just not going to get it. Well, this is MuzzleMike, hoping you all have a great week. I hope you all enjoy next week's ITL. It should be a little bit, I'm pretty sure it's a lot shorter than this. I apologize. I am so sorry. This is MuzzleMike signing out.